we have this clip here from Tucker as well. Vivek tweeted a clip I want to play for you guys. I'll just play it.
You know, my parents came to this country with almost no money. I've gone on to found multi-billion-dollar companies. And then people tell me, oh, that's because you had privilege. They tell me white privilege. It's sort of weird. It's sort of an interesting. It's kind of interesting.
Do you tell him?
Tucker's great.
I say, take the blindfold off. and
Do you tell him?
But the interesting answer is, actually what I do tell him, Tucker, is that I did have privilege. I didn't grow up in money, but I had two parents in the house, a mother and a father, with a focus on education and a faith in God. And you know what? That is the ultimate privilege. That if I'm going to enjoy that, every kid in this country ought to enjoy it too.
So we have from that clip, and the reason I wanted to play it is I'm going to refresh for you right now the prediction markets for the GOP presidential nomination, which currently has Vivek Ramaswamy at 13 cents, Ron DeSantis at 15, and Trump at 62. Trump, the clear frontrunner. Let's refresh it and see where we're at. And Vivek has dropped down by 1 cent. Ron DeSantis has gone up by 1 cent. These things are very much in flux, considering these clips are still going around right now. But Vivek Ramaswamy has skyrocketed. I mean, if we take a look at this, let's go to 90 days in the prediction market. Take a look at it. He's jumping. He is climbing the ranks. DeSantis is dropping down rather quickly. I do think, and again, these are not polls, but I think the people who are tracking the political landscape, who are making bets on what is going to, what the outcome is going to be, I think we're very close to seeing Vivek Ramaswamy take second place relatively soon.
I think that like what Vivek said at the very end, like I'm an agnostic and I agree with him. Like,
oh, hands down. That clip was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Family privilege.
That's why he's advancing in the polls like this, because he speaks. I think that he speaks in a very authentic way. He doesn't sound like a politician, I don't think, or at least he doesn't come across like a politician to people, because he does sound very polished, but I don't feel like he's just delivering a narrative kind of line. And maybe that's my own personal opinion, because I find his arguments compelling. So
I like listening to him. I mean, I think all his arguments are compelling. Everything he wants to dismantle the government in various pieces, and I think what he says a lot is some smart solutions. So I'm happy that he's getting this out to get a little bit more name recognition. And I'm surprised that DeSantis has fallen so much, but he has so much negative attention now that, I mean, with Disney, whether you're right or wrong, and his anti-cannabis, whether that's right or wrong, he's just kind of like just driving it into the ground.
Yeah, look, don't ask me why. I've got my opinions on these things. But what I've been saying to many DeSantis supporters is just look at the prediction markets and the polls. He's going down. Okay, that is not for me wanting it to happen. I think he's an excellent leader who really has his ear to the ground on all these issues. But I think he's doing a very terrible job campaign-wise. But even if you think I'm wrong, I'm curious why he's in this decline. If you ignore it, it'll only get worse.
Yeah, and his wife's a perfect running mate for him. Like she's out, she's well polished, and so she's adding, I think, a lot of value. But then at the same time, he's obviously crashing.
Not enough value.
Who do you guys want?
I would
libertarian. Well, you're a libertarian too, Phil.
Man, if Vivek and RFK made it, I feel like America wins.
But
just to voting.
Why RFK though?
I'm a big fan of him. Just well,
he's got a big, long history of very authoritarian positions.
Disavow.
No, here's what I would say personally. For the Democrat leadership, he's the best they got.
Yeah.
Because with all his bad policies, he's better than all the rest.
Way better.
So I would love to see that. So for me, it's kind of like I'm not a big Libertarian Party kind of guy. I'm actually more like fairly liberal on the political spectrum. So I look at an RFK Jr. like, I think he's really trying to be a populist. He's really trying to reach the people. And he's speaking about a lot of current issues that are good. So we've talked about the power of like a Trump-Kennedy ticket. But I don't want to ask you about Republicans because you're libertarian. Is there someone you want to see run for the libertarian ticket?
I've seen a couple people who are running for the libertarian ticket, but yeah, I don't quite feel that they're quite ready for the task. Huh?
Who's announced for the libertarians?
Chase.
Oh, Chase is from from Georgia, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chase Oliver.
Yeah.
Chase Oliver.
Yeah, I believe he's announced. But yeah, I mean, I know who he is. I followed him in the Georgia election. I know where he got his spotlight from with the whole Senate election. But you know, Shane Hazel did it the year before. I did it the same year as Shane Hazel did in North Carolina. You know, getting 3% and breaking the barrier and, you know, switching the election, it happens every year somewhere along the line. And that's really kind of what he's riding. I don't really know enough about him. I don't agree with him on some of the QIA issues, the LGBT, you know.
Yeah.
Which candidate, Chase?
Yeah.
You know, libertarians tend not to really agree with each other, you know?
Yeah, you know, a lot of them just say, you know,
Phil's over
banning
there
things,
like,
banning things aren't good. But at the same time, we live in a society where you just can't run amok.
Yeah, I love that meme though with Groundskeeper Willie, and he's like, "Libertarians, they ruined libertarianism."
I mean, the first thing that, or the best way to know that you're an actual libertarian is another libertarian says you're not a real libertarian.
That's right.
That's it. You know.
Yeah. We're getting into it right now. I know a lot of people have said, "Oh, it's so early. We're only a few weeks in for a lot of these candidates." But this is where the pickup happens because the primaries are coming. I think March of next year. So that's gonna be a big deal. It is a very, very big deal historically that Joe Biden is even facing a primary as the incumbent with one more term available to him. That's surprising.
I think that it's surprising that there are people that are kind of speaking up, but at the same time, it's also surprising that he's actually the president because it's really clear that he's not the guy running the show.
He's a puppet.
Yeah. I mean, it's run by the bureaucracy, the existing bureaucracy, and it's not Joe Biden that's making the calls. I mean,
he's the perfect candidate for him.
Yeah, but not anymore.
No, I mean in the future because he's not in charge.
Yeah, I wonder if the reason they ran Biden was because they feared prosecution. If Trump won, Biden's in trouble.
yeah.
If any other Democrat won, Biden doesn't have any control and may get thrown under the bus. So let's say 2020, you know, let's just say hypothetically Newsom gets elected for all his faults and problems. When stories start breaking about Biden's, their corruption, say these stories out of like Politico that came out, you know, almost 10 years ago, any other Democrat might be like, look, we're not going to sacrifice the future of our administration because of the mistakes and the problems you encountered. I do think they'd still probably protect him, but he would not have the power of the presidential seat to protect himself. So I wonder if a large component was, Trump started looking into what we were doing in Ukraine. We better get Biden in so we can put an end to this. Because that's really was the big issue. Biden did not announce he was running for president. Trump calls Ukraine and says, hey, what's up with this video? They then claim in the media, Donald Trump was digging up dirt on his political opponent. As if the only thing they could have done is been like, he's running for office. You can't do that. You can't look into these crimes. And then now he's got to run for office. You know what I mean?
And Democrat media establishment fell in line right away and started immediately shifting the narrative that direction.
Yeah.
I mean, that was going to go as soon as there was someone that was establishment approved, the media was going to go all in anyways. That there wasn't a whole lot of question about that.
Who's it going to be now? Is it going to be like Newsom? I mean, overwhelmingly, the prediction markets are saying Joe Biden. But he's at like 60%. He's at like 60%. Like, he's the incumbent. He should be at 100%.
It is interesting seeing the way that, like, the fact that there's any competition at all kind of proves that if you're not paying close attention, you wonder how that could possibly be. Because if you're not paying close attention, you just assume he's doing a great job. You don't know what's actually going on in the world. But if there's any competition at all, it does prove that there is a bit of a dent in the armor there. And it's hard for the average person to see. But just even hearing about an RFK, if you're somebody that doesn't pay close attention to politics, I would hope that would at least wake them up and be like, why is there anyone even questioning this at all? You could actually, I guess, mention his age would be a big part of it. Like, a lot of people, even if they're not politically initiated, might wonder, why is a guy his age going to be running again?
Trump's fairly old as well.
Yeah.
What is Trump?
75.
No, a year younger than Biden. He just doesn't show it.
No, wait, he's more than a year.
He's 4 years.
4 or 5 or
4 or
something.
5. Like,
Yeah.
he will be the same age. Like, he would have been the same age at the next election that Biden was when he got elected. So,
And I think what was
like
RFK? He's 69 or 70.
Yeah, he's like 69 or 70.
We need some younger people. I can absolutely understand.
Vivek.
Vivek, yeah, Vivek's what, 38?
Yeah,
30, he might be 37.
He's young.
But Ron DeSantis too. I certainly understand that. But I got to tell you, man, if Ron is hurting this much in the polls and they're not course correcting, I think that's a failure of leadership.
I think
I love his policy.
I think the reason Ron is kind of tanking is because Ron doesn't have the charisma people thought that he was going to have. Like when he gets onto the national stage, people aren't like, he's not magnetic when he's on stage. He doesn't have the charisma. He's not like Barack Obama. He's not Bill Clinton. He's not Donald Trump. And those are three people that had really, really significant charisma. And there's an argument that Bush had really good charisma as well. So that could be it.
But a big part of that is people like the idea that he was more stoic and that he could be a version of Trump without being more bombastic and over the top. But that doesn't work once you actually have to come out and speak more regularly.
Just because that was an argument doesn't mean that was actually what the country was going to feel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So and I'm just saying that this could be, I don't know, but it would make sense that the more people get exposed to him and hear him speak outside of just in the context of Florida, the less they actually like him.
When he like, because I'm not paying as close attention to that as I was before. But when somebody mentioned like his stance on weed, I'm like, really, like, even if that is your stance, why are you talking about it now? Why wouldn't you hold off and just not mention it? Like it seems like a disconnection.
There are still Republicans that like that. You know?
Well, we can talk about the viability of the Republicans, and there will be more developments, of course. Maybe Ron DeSantis will shift some of his campaign, really start to take off. It is early. There's a lot of opportunity for him there. Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.